Hey y'all. So ignore the mess behind me in the kitchen because I've been cooking like a crazy woman today. I just wanted to share with you guys something that I've been kind of gradually trying to switch my household over to things without all the preservatives and chemicals and all that stuff. And so as I run out of things, I figure out a way to make it on my own instead so that I don't add any of that stuff. So I want to show you guys something today. Okay, so this is a bottle of the store brand, well not really store brand, but this is a bottle of commercial brand raspberry vinaigrette dressing. Okay, so I have a strawberry field salad that I do a lot, and I have some spinach and some strawberries that if I don't use them pretty soon they're going to go bad. So I'm going to make that salad with our dinner today. And I was going to buy another bottle of this salad dressing. However, I started looking at the ingredients on the back of the bottle, and I'm just like, xanthan gum, natural flavor. That's always a big red flag because natural flavor could mean anything. Like, it could be something gross in there like toe jam, and I'm just saying that because that's not really what's in there. But potassium sorbate, calcium disodium, EDTA, sulfites, all this different stuff that I don't want in my food. Will it help this stay in the refrigerator and stay good for months? Probably so. Do I want that stuff in my body? No. So today I'm making some homemade raspberry vinaigrette dressing. I want to kind of take you guys along and show you. And I'll also show you the salad that I'm using it on because it's a super simple salad, but it is so good and it is good for you. I'm going to go ahead and take you along and show you making this stuff here on the farm. So hang out for a minute. Okay guys, so this recipe is really simple and you can tailor it to whatever you happen to have in your kitchen. The recipe I have calls for some shallots or green onions. I happen to have some of these green onion stalks growing in my windowsill right now so that I have them fresh when I need them. So I'm just taking a pair of scissors and I'm cutting these into smaller pieces so they'll be easier to blend up. This is my Ninja blender. But you can use any blender you want. If you have an immersion blender, you could use that as well. I just like my Ninja because it's got like all of the power that I don't have in my little hands and my little arms with my arthritis and all that good stuff. So anything with some oniony flavor would be good to put in this. The next thing I'm going to do is the recipe calls for a ½ cup of olive oil. I use extra virgin olive oil and I use a really light olive oil. If you wanted to use another oil in this, you could. You could use avocado oil, you could use coconut oil if you like something really super light. I happen to have the olive oil right here, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And we're going to put a ½ cup of olive oil in here. Then the very next ingredient that we've got going in here is some red wine vinegar. And the one that I'm using is an organic version of red wine vinegar. I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of this vinegar in here. Oops. No, I'm not, because I haven't opened this bottle yet. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of the red wine vinegar in here. And again, I'm going to eyeball this. It may not be exact, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the red wine vinegar in. And then the very next ingredients are a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a little bit of pepper, and some mustard. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, eyeball this teaspoon of mustard. This is my homemade mustard that I make right here on the farm. Get all that goodness in there. And then the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing all of this. And then it also says pepper to taste. So I've got my pepper here. And I don't like a ton of pepper and stuff, so I'm going to do about 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper in there. Then, for the star of the show, we're going to be putting some raspberries in here. And just so y'all know, I did wash these raspberries. However, I just put them back in my plastic container after I washed that out. We're going to do 1.5 cups of these raspberries, because I like a lot of raspberry flavor in mine. And I'm saving a few of these raspberries for another recipe that I will show you guys later on for a berry tart that I'm doing. It's going to have strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries in it. So we are saving some of these raspberries for that. And I promise I will share with y'all when the time comes to do that. Okay, so that is our 1.5 cups of fresh raspberries right there. So, my next step is to put my lid on top of my Ninja here. Now this is the 3-part Ninja that has the small blender container, it has the large blender container, and it also has the little baby one that they started out with, which I use that occasionally, but I usually tend to use this medium-sized one for a lot of things. And then every once in a while I use the big one also, depending on, if I have a big recipe of something that I'm working on. Okay, so, and of course, Ninja, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I wish I was. That would be awesome and fantastic. But I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start mixing and blending this together, and it's going to be loud, y'all. Check this and see. Oh, that's pretty consistency. And I feel like it's a little bit thick. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to taste this. Okay, that is really super tart. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar to this because I like mine a little bit sweet. Now, if you guys are trying not to do sugar and you have to do artificial sweetener, you can do that. If you would rather use honey, you can do that. I don't want to get any comments about how awful I am because I put a teaspoon of sugar in here. Because I do use some sugar in some stuff, most definitely. Just going to put a little spoonful of sugar in there. I'm going to cover that back up. And we're going to blend it a little bit more. See what we come up with. Since this is my first time doing it, I'm adjusting the recipe as I go, which you can do as well. part about cooking. That actually thinned it up a little bit too. Mix it in another time. Just another little smidgen of sugar. And this should be just about where we want to be. Let's taste it again. That is just about perfect. Now, I do believe that next time I make this, I'm going to use a little bit less onion. I feel like I got a little bit too much onion flavor in there, which is okay. It's still going to be good. And if I wanted to, I could go back and double up on the other ingredients to take down some of that onion flavor. But right now, this is tasting pretty darn good. So we're going to leave it like this, and I'm going to show you guys the salad that we're going to use this on today as well. So this is my version of a strawberry field salad. This is 2 different types of spinach, and you can put this spinach in there whole. I kind of like to chop it up a little bit myself. My husband says that I pre-chew my salads because I like everything in smaller pieces. That's just a personal preference. You guys can use whole spinach leaves if you want. You can chop it up like this if you want. I use only spinach in mine. However, if you like other greens, you could put any other greens in this salad if you want to. There is a sweet element to this salad with the raspberry vinaigrette dressing. And I'm not making a huge bowl of this because it's just Tim and I eating it tonight. And it doesn't really do very well left over in the fridge. When you start putting the strawberries into the mixture with the spinach and all of that, it tends to kind of get, I don't know, soggy looking and a little goopy. Which, so typically if you want to have leftovers of this salad, I would do the spinach and the strawberries in separate containers, just so that they don't get all soggy. You can pre-cut the strawberries and just put them in a separate container and maybe throw it together in a salad bowl if you want to take it to work with you for lunch, or if you want to just eat it on the farm the next day, whatever your situation might be. So I'm going to go ahead and get this spinach in this bowl, and the next thing I'm going to do is chop up the strawberries. Okay, so I like to take really ripe strawberries, and I just take the green top parts off the top. I mean, if you're a person that likes to eat those little leaves off of there, you can. I personally am not a fan of those. But, and again, chop these into whatever size pieces that you prefer. I kind of like most of my salad stuff in smaller pieces, so I'm cutting these into smaller pieces today, but you can do halves, you can do quarters, you can do whatever size pieces of strawberry that you like. So we're going to go ahead and get as many of these cut up as we deem appropriate for our particular taste. This is one of those dinners today that's just kind of a go with the flow thing. If you like things sweeter, you can do it that way. If you like things spicier, you can do it that way. I love the strawberries on this salad. I am a strawberry fan. So I put quite a bit of strawberry on this. But hey, like I said, you know, you do the amount that works for you. You do you, sugar. That's what you do. And I want you guys to see what the salad is starting to look like over here. It is a beautiful salad. We have the bright green spinach. We have these bright red strawberries. And when we get the last couple of ingredients on this, you're going to see what a beautiful salad this is. So it makes an awesome presentation if you've got company coming over for dinner, or you want to do something that's a little bit pretty for a potluck at church, or a potluck over at grandma's house, or, you know, just something pretty that people look at and go, ooh, that's pretty. You made a really pretty dish. And plus, I think I don't know, just to me it seems like it tastes better when it looks good. And I could be totally wrong about that. You know, you guys tell me in the comments what you think. I personally think pretty food looks better. Now that may, you know, just be from my short experience of being on the Food Network. You know, everything we had to do for Cupcake Wars was needed to not only taste good, but you had to have that presentation. Everything had to be pretty, and it had to be conducive to the mood that you were trying to portray with your food. So there again, if you want it to look nice and countrified, and you don't care if it has just this gorgeous picture perfect look to it, then you don't worry about what it looks like. Hey, if it's you and your husband eating, and he's that guy that's like, just feed me, you know, and he doesn't really care what things look like, and you don't care what things look like, then you just throw this stuff together and not worry about it. But, you know, if you want to have your dish and potluck looking prettier than everybody else's, then hey, that's what you should go for. Okay, so if you guys can see the salad in this bowl so far, it is looking really, really, really pretty. Now, my next ingredient in this salad is going to add some pizzazz. So this is blue cheese, and lost a little piece of lettuce there. Now, this is a blue cheese that's kind of a specialty blue cheese. It comes from Italy, and it's award-winning, blah, blah, blah. I one day hope to be able to make this stuff myself. However, I am not quite there yet. Again, my homestead is a work in progress. So I did buy this. Now, this blue cheese, I know some people are like, oh my gosh, it's rotten cheese. Okay, technically you're right, but it adds a really good cheesy flavor that is somewhat salty tasting. So it's going to add a lot of savory to this fairly sweet salad. So you've got these sweet strawberries, you've got this nice fresh spinach, and when we add these blue cheese crumbles on here, this is going to add a whole different level of flavors. You can leave this blue cheese off of this recipe if you like. You know, some people like it with blue cheese, some people don't. Some people prefer feta cheese, which is also another option on this salad as well. I was not a fan of moldy cheese at one point in my life, but to be honest with you, I would not like this salad without it, because it is one of the things that just makes this salad special and fantastic. So I'm gonna tell you guys an honesty bomb here. I was candying my own pecans, because that is the next step in this recipe, and I put it in the oven. I did some pecans with a little bit of coconut oil and a little bit of honey drizzled on there, and I was just trying to get a nice crispy sweet pecan to go on top of this salad. And as I was filming this video for you guys, I burned them. And I'm out of pecans. So my husband is on his way home from work, and so Tim is going to bring me some awful, horrible for you store-bought candy pecans, but sometimes you just got to do that to get dinner finished. So we're going to wait on him to get here, and then we're going to put those pecans in there, and I'm going to show you how beautiful this salad is. Okay, so Tim brought the candied pecans, glazed pecans, whatever you want to call them. We're just going to sprinkle those right on top of this salad. And guys, this salad is so yummy. Combination of sweet and savory together. And we're serving this salad today with a homemade broccoli cheddar cheese soup, which is amazing. If you guys want the recipe for this soup, let me know in the comments, and I'll come back and do a video next time I make this to show you guys how I make it, because it's really simple, but it is so good. I make a huge pot every time I do it so that we can have it the next day also. And we're also serving this with our homemade bread, and it is amazing to break a piece of this off and dip it in that soup. So here's my burnt pecans, y'all. You know, I was always told if you're going to do something, do it right. So instead of just, burning them a little bit, I burnt the holy heck out of them. So this is why we couldn't use them on our salad. Hopefully I don't have to throw this pan away.